Hey guys, I am here at SEMA 2022 and you may recognize this truck. This is the Ford F550 by Elevation Off-Grid. Let me give you a wider view of it.
Sure.
And of course, the guys at Elevation Off-Grid work together with liquid spring suspension to make this one of the biggest and baddest pickups that's capable of heavy towing, heavy payload, and also really great off-road capability with the suspension that's height adjustable. And here's my buddy Jeremy. Jeremy, what up, dude?
Hey, how are you, man?
Hi, so you're introducing, well, I mean, you have the Ford,
We have a Ford.
but now you have something else.
Now we have something else.
It took a while to get up here. We started out around 1959. But we didn't do all that just to get here. We did it to give you a truck that'll take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
Been working on this project for a little over a year, we got to release it yesterday, and we're super excited. Ram 5500 pickup, it's the first and only in the world. And we'll manufacture these and sell these as we do our 550s.
Sweet, so
Yeah.
you started obviously with a chassis cab from Ram.
Correct.
And it looks like you kind of use the same recipe,
Yeah.
but because some of the components are obviously Ram specific.
Correct.
So what did it take to, I guess, make this truck happen?
Lots of engineering time, lots of renderings, and the engineering and the suspension for this wheelbase truck is really special. It's really specific, for us and for this build in particular. Wheelbase on 5500s or 550s is about 4 inches shorter than their light duty counterparts, and it's totally custom specifically for us on the Ram 5500 pickups. Ram doesn't make a 5500 pickup, and there's no 4500 pickup either.
Right.
So this is almost like stepping from a 3500 to a 5500. You skip the 450 like Ford has.
Right.
So basically what we end up with is this truck has a little bit higher payload than our 550. Of course, the Cummins that everyone loves. What's also cool about the Rams is you can get them in a limited trim level. Of course, they're more expensive. Just the chassis cab's about $100 grand.
Already from Ram, right?
Yeah, from Ram, brand new, stock unmodified with technically an unfinished vehicle, no bed, is $100,000, but you get all the creature comforts inside, heated steering wheel, heads-up display, all that stuff.
Can you show me inside just really quickly?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, people kind of understand and know Ram Limited, and really, I mean, you got the wood, you got the nice touches, you got all the technology, 360-degree cameras, right?
Yep.
Which is important because, I mean, this truck is really for playing and also working, right?
Yeah,
It's both.
Yeah, playing, working. What we found with our 550 product is the majority of our clients daily drive it, and that means for them on the weekend using it for their toys. And then during the week, they will use it for work. They're pulling a gooseneck or pulling a bumper trailer or whatever. And they're really just really versatile trucks. Trucks don't rub at any ride height. So there's 8 inches of adjustability because of the liquid spring suspension.
Yeah.
So right now he's actually in high. Just kind of showing him off.
Show off, yeah?
Yeah. Ultra high strength steel bumper. It's a 1/4 inch thick, so these are not just aesthetic. We build our trucks with function first, form second. Everything we do, we try to keep it to the highest level possible.
And I can see kind of a cradle here and kind of a skid plate area as well.
Yep, so that's manufactured for us by Buckstop. It's just giving some additional protection for the components that are there. This truck does have a little bit better departure angle than the Ford, and just leaves some of the components there exposed. So Buckstop manufactures super heavy duty aluminum armor there for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of the front and rear parking sensors are all functional. In fact, this truck's it does meet all FMVSS certifications, so that was really important there. This is our black edition, which I guess we're kind of famous for. So a lot of people are familiar with like the night edition on the Rams.
Right.
You can't get that in a 5500. So
you kind of got it there.
Yeah, so we kind of get it there, and that means basically going through and purchasing all of those parts, directly from Ram. You actually can't get that, so we manufacture that. But
somebody's playing with it.
There we go. Someone's playing with it. Now she's going down.
So, for those people who don't understand liquid spring suspension, so basically, kind of hydraulic-based suspension, but also smart.
Smart, yeah.
So it's reacting real time.
Yep, reacts in real time. It's hydraulic in principle, however, it uses a silicone oil with a 6% compressibility. It's fully adaptive. It's pulling data from braking, steering, pitch, roll, yaw. So you end up with a truck that rides like a F-150 or a SUV, but it has the handling of a sports sedan. It's true in the 550, it's true in the Ram, and we also just released our 350 build with full liquid spring suspension as well, and exact same principle, philosophy, and handling characteristics there for a light duty crowd and in a lighter duty truck.
So you just said this truck that weighs what, almost 11,000 pounds?
Yeah, yep.
Handle like a sports sedan?
Handles like
Did
a
I
sports
hear
sedan.
you correctly?
Handles like a sports
All right,
sedan.
so here's something. I drove your F550.
Okay.
Very similar truck to that one, right?
Correct.
And I can attest to this. So people may not believe this, right?
Right.
Because it's kind of weird to say that.
It's very weird.
But it's adjusting in real time, so it's trying to remain level,
Correct.
right? Which makes it more stable and confidence inspiring, I would say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So,
yeah. You really can't fathom it until you drive it. You're on a truck with 42-inch military-grade tires,
Yes.
and you don't have body roll, or you have very minimal body roll. That's awesome, of course, just for driving, but it's also great for big payloads. You're not nearly as affected by wind. You're not nearly as affected by any of those things.
And towing heavy campers or heavy trailers.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about the payload capability and the towing numbers on this guy.
So this truck has over a 10,000 pound payload capacity. He's actually a little bit lighter than the 550, which is interesting because he's steel.
Okay.
So the payload on this truck is just over 10,000 pounds. These actually have a higher gross combined than the Fords. These have a 43,000 pound gross combined, so you have right around a 32 or so thousand pound capacity, towing capacity.
For towing.
Yep, for towing.
Which is insane. I mean, a truck like this, and you equip them with gooseneck hitches, and of course standard hitches.
Yep.
And you do this bumper too in the back.
Correct.
With a step.
With a step. Try to, with all the additional body parts that we add, front rear bumpers, all that, of course we want it to look, cool and tough, but we try to match and replicate somewhat of a factory look, a factory style. We don't want it to be over the top and gaudy. We try to keep it very clean and match factory lines as much as we can.
So is this a factory dually side here?
It starts as a factory dually bed. The cab to axle measurement, which is center of axle to rear of cab on Ram 5500s and Fords, is actually 4 inches longer. So
then like a 3500.
Yeah, then like a 3500 or a 450. So we don't cut the frame. We don't do any frame modifications. We don't want to mess with any structural integrity.
Yeah.
So we actually remove the bed sides from a stock 3500 bed, and then spot weld on this truck. Spot weld a bed side that is 4 inches longer, and that allows us to properly attach a bed that fits properly without getting into any of the structural issues of frame modification or anything like that.
And also take care of the flex of the axle and all that stuff,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Well,
in doing so, we do not change the factory interior bed dimensions. So all factory options, anything for an 8-foot pickup bed will work on this truck. That's why we have some tonneau covers on there so people can see, hey, any bed accessory you have on an 8-foot truck will work here.
Yeah, or even a camper. If you wanted to do a truck camper,
Absolutely.
put something inside of there, you can do that as well.
Absolutely.
And then you did the front fenders.
So these flares were made for us by Buck Stop, and we actually love the aesthetic of them. Really, really, really beautiful flare. Everything we do is obviously paint to match. So we have an in-house paint department, but you can get these flares textured, different things like that.
Sure.
We actually manufactured the fender liner for this truck. We try to give as much clearance as possible, or as much coverage as possible. Clearance is unaffected. You can drive this truck in full low position, which is, I'll go ahead and lower it all the way.
And I want to show the controller too. So there is a couple of drive modes, sport, normal, and comfort, and then also height adjustments.
Correct.
And if you have a premium truck from the factory like a Raptor, you're familiar with drive modes already.
Right.
So
Right.
Of course, the right height change is kind of an additional benefit as the truck is now doing its thing.
So that's low position, and the ride height changes. It's not just a gimmicky cool factor, it's actually totally functional. If you think about, say, loading a trailer or hooking up to a trailer, you don't have to get out of the truck to actually hook up the trailer. You don't have to mess with a trailer jack. You can lower just the rear end, back up, center your ball with your camera, lift up, trailer's off the ground, you're good to go. Same principle applies with the gooseneck. When he's in his low position, brings the roof height to 6'10", so he'll fit in a standard garage, which is 7 feet. We have a couple of other of our trucks here, and we've navigated parking garages and hotels with the 7-foot roofs, just in low position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of fast acting. So you just saw it, lower itself.
Right.
Sometimes air suspensions take a while, right?
Correct.
It just, you have to let the air out or in.
Yep. You have to let the air out, let him in. It takes forever. Liquid Spring is a completely sealed system. So, like I said, it's a silicone-based system. It's on every ambulance in North America, so it's the most tried in true commercial suspension, really in the United States for sure, arguably in the world. The fact that we've been able to introduce it to the consumer market is just super exciting for us.
All right, so you're starting to build this, so people can go to your website, find you.
People can go to our website, you can find us on Instagram. We have 12 reservations available. Well, we had 12 reservations available yesterday. We've sold 4 so far. So we have 8 remaining. And looking about a March delivery, and they start right about 200.
For this limited
Yes.
one?
Yep.
Are you talking about just the limited now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Ram 5500 built to this spec start right about 200.
Okay.
That's turnkey, ready to go.
All right, well, thanks a lot, dude. We'll be doing another video with the Ford very soon, towing 30,000 pounds.
Yep.
So you'll actually be able to see in real life the capability of this truck. So I appreciate it, dude.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right.
Have a good one, man. Yeah.
All right, thanks.